Welcome to the Data Dojo podcast, hosted by Adam Massey and powered by the Aurek Group. Every week, we dive deep into the world of data, machine learning, and artificial intelligence. Here, we bring you conversations with the leading minds who are shaping the future of these cutting-edge fields. So get ready to unlock the secrets of data and discover the stories behind the algorithms.
Welcome back to the Data Dojo podcast. I'm your host, Adam Massey. Now, in today's episode, I'm joined by Sandeep Mathur. He's the head of data and engineering at Greenpeace Australia, who are one of the most recognised charity organisations in the world. Sandeep was also recently named as one of Corinium's top 100 global innovators in data, analytics and AI for 2025. In this episode, we're going to dive into Greenpeace's digital transformational journey, how they're using data, CRM and AI to enhance donor experiences, modernize operations, and build a more sustainable future. Sandeep shares how his team is moving from pro code to low code, building an ethical AI framework, and using technology to serve humanity and the planet, all within the constraints that you would find in a charity organization. And if you enjoy the episode, don't forget to like and subscribe to help the podcast grow. This is a really inspiring chat about innovation with purpose. So let's just jump in. Hey, Sandeep, welcome to the Data Dojo podcast. Pleasure to have you on. How are you today?
I'm doing great, and thanks for inviting me.
That's no problem. So we've been speaking for a while trying to get this podcast put together. Obviously, it's been quite a challenging year for you in terms of all the transformational work you're doing at Greenpeace. So I think for our audience, what I'd like to do is get you to give a bit of a background as to who you are and what you're doing today.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Adam, I am currently the head of data and engineering at Greenpeace Australia Pacific and leading our digital transformation strategy across data, CRM, and AI. And my career started as a software developer, really cutting code, and then moved into project management, program management, portfolio management across banking and government, moving into a purpose-driven digital leadership. And I also teach at a University of Technology, Sydney, UTS, and recently completed my PhD on managing data science initiatives. So my role sits right where data, people, and purpose intersect. And I've always believed that technology should serve humanity, not the other way around. And that philosophy really underpins my work at Greenpeace. And also, I was fortunate this month to be named one of the Corinium's global top 100 innovators in data, analytics, and AI for 2025.
Awesome. Congratulations on that. Yeah. So I guess what kind of drew you to Greenpeace then? Was it a bit of a passion for you then to kind of work in this kind of environment?
Yeah, absolutely. Like after decades in corporate and government, I wanted work that aligned tech innovation with environmental and social impact. And Greenpeace provided just that opportunity to apply enterprise-level transformation thinking to a mission-driven organization. At Greenpeace, what I like is that every data set tells a story, and not about profit, but about protecting the planet.
Excellent. And I guess how does working at Greenpeace differ? Obviously, you worked in government, you've worked in the banking sector. Yeah, how does that kind of translate?
Oh, it is. I can say it's significantly different. There is less hierarchy and a lot more cross-functional collaboration. And one of the things which is very unique to organizations like Greenpeace is that the decisions are guided by ethics, not just by efficiency or profits. And the trade-offs are different. We optimize for impact, not output. And generally, in a non-profit, governance and values aren't compliance checkboxes. They are your operating system.
And with Greenpeace, just so our viewers understand, so with your data team, what are the kind of key, I guess, challenges you face at Greenpeace, and what are the kind of things you're trying to kind of do with data there?
Sure. In terms of the challenges, like non-profits, one thing I have seen is that they have serious resource constraint. We're talking about both dollars and we're talking about skilled people. So key learnings, what I have found in the last 2 years I've been at Greenpeace, one, that they constrained literally drives you to be creative. Leading with empathy builds resilience. And lastly, I can say that the purpose attracts talent more powerfully than any of the perks.
Yeah, and I think that's true. I think, a lot of engineers, data scientists, they do this work to build out, marketing funnels and things like that for different companies, increase profits. But sometimes you can get a bit lost in that. When you know you're working to a greater purpose, it does give you a lot more job satisfaction.
Yes, absolutely.
When we started speaking earlier in the year, you was on this kind of journey through digital transformation. So maybe you can kind of tell us a little bit more about that.
Sure. This is the favorite part, Adam, for me. Really, I'm passionate about some of the work I'm doing around digital transformation. So our digital transformation strategy was approved by our Greenpeace board earlier this year in March. And the vision we had was to harness technology and actionable intelligence to enhance operational efficiency, grow fundraising income, and amplify campaign impact. And if I can drill down a bit more, in our strategy, we have 55 initiatives across 4 prioritized themes. The first is everything about donors, so enhanced donor experience. Second is, how do you unlock funding, so diversified funding. Third being actionable intelligence, and fourth being a strong foundation. And I can probably go into each of those 4 themes a bit more. When I talk about enhanced donor experience, it's about crafting unforgettable interactions that inspire lifelong support. So we are looking for people not just giving us one-off, but staying with us throughout their life journey and ultimately leaving us portion of their will. Then the second is diversified funding. So it's about driving the growth and impact through targeted and diversified fundraising strategies. So you don't want to be locked into just one way of receiving money from donors, but you want to have a plethora of options so people can pick and choose a platform of their liking.
Yeah.
The third is the actionable intelligence, and this is where the AI coming in is just adding a bit so much more now. So it's about empowering decisions with timely insights for maximum impact. And the fourth is the strong foundation. And we need to build resilient technical capabilities for sustainable growth and success. So to wrap it up, what we are doing is we are building an ecosystem powered by data and AI, where every campaigner, every fundraiser, and every volunteer can make data-driven decisions in real time.
Excellent. So, because I think one of the things we spoke about off camera before was around moving from like heavy coding to like a low code, no code kind of option. So I'm assuming that means that you're trying to empower people on the front lines to get access to data more easily.
Absolutely. And this move was extremely intentional because historically we have been a very pro-code environment. We used to build solutions. So this move to a low-code, no-code environment, what it is already now allowing us to do is to accelerate the delivery. And I'm talking about project delivery and all the change requests which come from various stakeholders. And at the same time, reduce the technical debt. And as you mentioned, what it does is it empowers the non-technical users to do self-serve and deliver outcomes quickly without coming to a central point all the time. So they can do a self-service and get their outcomes quickly. We are going into tools like Salesforce, Nonprofit Cloud. We are in process of implementing that now. And also we have HubSpot for marketing, Google BigQuery, Asana, Notion. So there's a raft of tools we already have in our ecosystem, which people can do a lot of self-serve. So it's about shifting from a pro code bottlenecks, if I can call that, to people-centric innovation.
And I'm guessing with that kind of approach, it's crucial you pick the right vendors and partners to help support you with those builds and growth.
Yeah, and absolutely. Look, Adam, we had to undergo, a bit of a restructuring, and the restructuring is never simple. It's because it does impact people, so it is tough on everyone. What we did as part of this move from pro code to low code, no code, we replaced our engineering roles with platform focused lead roles such as Salesforce platforms lead and MarTech platforms lead. And then we have implemented a partner led delivery model up in managed services and service level agreements. What it is allowing us to have is a clear accountability, faster delivery, and reduce overhead. So what it has done is we have become leaner, more focused, and an outcome-driven organization.
And I guess how does the budget constraints change the way you approach that kind of transformational work?
Yeah, when we crafted our digital transformation strategy and got it approved, we didn't cost all the 55 initiatives. So the strategy, while it got approved, it was not costed. And now that the question was, how are we going to deliver those 55 initiatives? So some of them are much, much smaller initiatives, which we can simply do using our internal resources. So internal resources are already costed in our operational budget. So all we just need to do is then to plan and execute those initiatives and just look at the organizational constraints and just make sure that we are able to deliver some of those initiatives. However, some initiatives do require new money. Now, new money in all organizations is always a little bit of a challenge, and nonprofits even more. So what we are doing is we are creating business cases with a very clear return on investment and a benefits mapping. And we all have seen projects going absolutely wild. So intentionally, what we are doing is we are often using fixed price contracts and phase releases. And Adam, what we are doing from a framework perspective, we are using scaled agile framework, SAFe. So we are doing the iteration planning, PI planning, actually delivering the work. But where we are using our partners, then we are wrapping them up in a fixed price contract. So in nonprofits, I can say every dollar has a story.
Yeah.
So the governance becomes the best form of agility.
Excellent. And I guess moving into kind of some of the work you guys are doing specifically around data and AI, are you able to give us maybe some examples, a bit of an overview of how you're using data to kind of improve that donor experience?
Yeah, absolutely. I would probably call out the supported 360 view. That is almost like a holy grail for most organizations, where you have everything to do with your customer, or in our case, donors, in one place. So have all the contact details, all the payments information, plus all the engagement data. And when I talk about engagement data, this is about emails, SMSs, voice communication, everything. It's all packaged in one location, and what we have is Salesforce Data Cloud to actually do that wrapping around. And once you have all that information, what it allows us to do is segmentation and predictive analytics for retention and engagement. In short, what we are doing is we are moving away from reactive reporting to proactive engagement, and almost predicting who to thank, who to engage, and almost who not to chase at all.
So, and where does kind of AI play a part in this?
We have been using AI since 2019 when we did our first Salesforce implementation. So some of the use cases which are currently in our organization is propensity modeling, and we use a vendor Dataro for supporter retention. So this propensity modeling allows us to do churn prediction and donor lifetime value modeling. And Adam, Zoom and Teams, they all have, the call transcription can be done so easily and so conveniently. So we're doing that. We're using Gemini, Notion, Asana for office productivity. And some of the generative AI pilots, we are a bit of a Google shop. So we are quite heavily invested in Gemini for content drafting and data insights. And also from a AI implementation, cataloging, and a little bit of privacy policy update to make sure that the current usage is all reasonably governed. But the future is so exciting. Like when you are restricted, with a lot of customers or a lot of donors, it's hard to do personalized donor journeys. But with AI, what we can do is personalized donor journeys and propensity modeling. And what we are thinking is to use Salesforce Einstein and Data Cloud to help us do that. Second thing is we all have seen there are only that many dashboards any team can build. And the moment you build a dashboard, you say, what about this and what about that? So intentionally, what we are doing is to go into natural language querying for knowledge management and some of the key analytics. Not to say that we will not keep building dashboards, but what I want to do is to reduce the number of canned dashboards we build, but allow our end users to be able to just say, hey, give me, top 20 donors in this area, and it can just give that information to you. Then chatbots, again, organizations like ours, we operate business hours, Monday to Friday. That may not be the best time for our donors and supporters to engage with us. So sometimes the chatbots are quite handy. So someone on a Sunday night, interact with Greenpeace through a chatbot, and this allows all the supporters and volunteers to engage with us. Then the predictive campaign intelligence. This is about what, when, and who to target. So this is really we are excited about. And then in HR and in finance. So and Adam, the industry you are in, things like resume screening and workforce planning. I think there's so much more we can do, just augmenting our staff with AI agents there. And similarly in finance, things like automated receipting and reconciliation. So the future looks so exciting to me at the moment.
And I guess obviously with AI usage, there's obviously a bit of an environmental impact at play there. So I guess what's the challenge working at Greenpeace and balancing AI adoption with their kind of climate mission?
Yeah, look, Greenpeace, the use of AI is, there's a very strong opinion both sides, right? So to use AI or to not use AI. What we are doing is we're implementing strong governance through an ethical AI guidance framework. And what we have done is we have 5 foundational principles. All our AI usage need to be aligned to Greenpeace values and ethics, right? So we are an organization with very unique proposition and unique values. So any usage needs to be aligned. Some of the other stuff is common to other organizations like interpretability and transparency. So why are we using some of the decisions which are coming out? We should be able to understand the reason for those decisions. Human oversight and accountability, like every organization in every conversation for AI, at the end, a human needs to be there in the loop. With European GDPR and Australian Privacy Act, we got to make sure that all the data we have is secure. So for any model implementation, privacy, security, and data protection is the 4th foundational principle. And lastly, Greenpeace is all about sustainability and environment. Any usage needs to also look at the impact of on sustainability and environment. So overarching, Adam, in terms the focus is on fairness, transparency, privacy, and energy efficiency. And I would like to say that we would like to champion AI for Earth. We want to position Greenpeace as a leader in AI for good,
Yeah.
as well as influence policy and industry towards a sustainable AI infrastructure. So we want to not just oppose AI, but be the champion for AI, but in a really controlled manner.
I just wanted to touch on like some broader themes around recruitment and things like that. That's obviously what I do day to day. So for me, it's interesting to understand some of the constraints you have when you're trying to hire people for roles, particularly technical roles, when you're working in a non-profit. So how do you get great people to join your team?
Yeah, it's a very interesting question, Adam. We have moved from a VUCA world. I'm going to use the term. So VUCA is the volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. So, and this is like a 1990s construct. So, we have been in that world for some time. We moved from a VUCA world to a BANI, BANI world, which stands for the brittle, anxious, non-linear, and incomprehensible, shaped by climate and global systemic change. So, purpose is the new currency in today's BANI world. It's about the purpose. And what I'm seeing is that the professionals want meaning, autonomy, and creativity in work they do. So the question was like, how do we still get people? And all I can say is that Greenpeace, people don't work for a brand or for that matter, money, but they work towards a cause.
Yeah. And I'm assuming the way you tell your stories about the role, the mission that you guys are on, and how you put that out into the market is how you're going to attract people to take that role and perhaps take that bit of a pay cut that they might not earn as much at one of the big banks, but it's part of that whole mission and job satisfaction.
Yeah, absolutely. And for us, storytelling is so crucial to attract our donors, to attract really, really good talent. And your data tells you what happened. It's the stories tell you why it matters.
Exactly. And another thing as well, obviously you do some lecturing. So you work in the kind of education sector as well, which is really interesting. So I thought maybe it'd be good for you to tell us a little bit about that and also how that kind of teaching has influenced your approach to leading teams.
Yeah, look, what I find is my connection to university just keeps me grounded and curious. It just brings a little bit of a rigor of research to organizational transformation. And when you're doing a thesis or writing a research paper, you've got to be very, very thorough and very rigorous. And sometimes we need that rigor in our organization. One thing I actually love is that what I find, some of the assignments and discussions with students, I find them really engaging. They often bring a perspective which I haven't even thought about it. So for every time I teach, I almost learn from them something or the other. And teaching kind of reminds me that leadership is about nurturing curiosity and not enforcing compliance.
And what's the name of the course? Is it one particular course? Is there a couple or what is that?
Yeah. So what I do is I currently teach, and I've been doing that for the last few years. It's the organization project management. That's the name of the course. And within that, what I teach is portfolio management, program management, data management. So that's the part I cover. If I can use this opportunity, what I'm also doing is writing some research papers as well. So it's kind of balancing the teaching with the research.
And I guess just to kind of wrap things up, an overarching theme of our episode today has been around digital transformation. So I guess what kind of key advice would you leave people with who are approaching a digital transformation, particularly when they're in a resource constrained kind of environment?
Yeah, one thing I'll like to start with is to actually have a bold vision. All right. So don't go small. So think something big. So while the vision is bold, start with something small and then scale smartly, because it's about having wins and gradually build the momentum, and also align every tech decision to purpose. Lead with governance and empathy. For me, transformation isn't just about implementing the newest tool. It's about almost the oldest value, which is building trust.
Yeah. And I think people can get quite carried away with how they might do some sort of transformation, some big technical overhaul. But where does that sit in terms of what the company's trying to achieve? Are you aligned with the values? Are you aligned with the purpose of what that organization is trying to achieve? And I think sometimes there's a disconnect because people are pulling in the wrong direction.
Absolutely. And look, generally the transformation is led by technology team in most of the organization. They do get, people like me do get excited about the newest tool, which is around. But the fact is, these kind of tools are just an enabler. You still need to look at what the organization vision, the mission is, and what we are doing. Is it advancing organization vision? So that's very important, which we should never lose focus on.
It's been really great to have you on the podcast today. Is there any kind of ways people can connect with you? And also, I know you speak at regularly at events. Is there any coming up that people can catch you at?
Yeah, thank you. Look, definitely, please connect me via LinkedIn. That's the easiest way. I do have a presence, so Sandeep Mathur, and you will be able to find me very easily. But also, quite passionate about the digital transformation, and I'm actually starting a digital transformation course at UTS next year in March. It is often hard for people to be there during the day full time. So what we are doing is we're going to run it over 6 evenings, 3 hours. So if this is something which the audience, Adam, is interested, they can enroll, on the UTS website. So I'm really looking forward to that. And also, I'm speaking at a Decision 2030 Summit. This is on AI governance and quantum foresight. And quantum tech, you'll find that that's now appearing in some of those conversations. And that's the new thing, which I think I will be speaking at in February 26th. So it's exciting time, and look, so many changes happening across the world and in Australia.
Sounds like you're a pretty busy man. I will get links to those things all put in the show notes as well. So if anyone wants to check that out, look at the course, look at the way you're speaking, we'll include that as well for you to take a look at. But yeah, Sandeep, once again, thank you for coming on to the episode. It's been really insightful. Thanks everyone for listening.
Thanks. And thank you very much, Adam, for having me on the show.
Awesome. Cheers, Sandeep. Thank you. Goodbye, everyone.
See ya. Bye.